me here, so we'll just hold off for the moment.
Okay, testing. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Tyne and Eyre Cup versus Victoria and South Australia at the 30th National Police Football Championship being held here in North Hobart Oval. My name's Zach Cook. I'm here with
Adam Vaughan from VIC as well. So off to a pretty tight start at the moment. No one's managed the scoreboard yet, but as expected, nice tough footy to start off with, and it's hopefully it maintains for the rest of the game.
Absolutely, and it's I can tell you here in Hobart it's around about 12 degrees, and that's really going to test the hounds, who are a bit used to that. Oh, great attempt at tackle there by Kakuro. We'll get to the commentary in a minute, but just to introduce you to the game, Tyne and Eyre Cup. Some of you may remember Stephen Tynan and Damien Eyre. This is what this game's been played for, and it's quite a passionate game between these two teams. So we're hopefully going to see some really good footy. Probably one of the best games you'll see in the championship today. So we'll get into the commentary, and we'll give you some further information about the teams as we go along. So throw in, tap, here we go.
All right. Right, down in the forward line. Contest. Shawnee Harrison, what a gun he is. Good roving there by
This is
by
Jose's
Nicholson.
cleaned up now. He's headed towards the wing, pretty much into no man's land.
Darcy.
It's now a foot race. Tristan Kakuro's getting onto it, almost picked it up.
Contest.
That's gone to Sam Venning, who flicks it down into the forward line. Oh, bad miss there.
Jimmy Oliver.
Picked up by Dan Havelberg, sneaks it over the top. I think that's to... Excuse me, I need binoculars. Aaron Parsons, I've just been reliably informed. And he lollipops it over straight through for the first goal for the SA Hounds.
Sort of just opened up there, snuck out the back there and the first on the board.
Good running footy, but the Vics are looking good. I tell you what, Sean Harrison is a previous Lewis Alamand medalist, which is the best and fairest for our championship. He's won it a couple of times.
I think
Keep an eye on him, #1 for Victoria. And Tom Carroll, who's #7, he's also a previous winner of the Lewis Alamand medal.
I think they've got 3 apiece. Possibly?
I think,
3 apiece?
I think Carroll's won 4 actually.
4, has he? Yeah.
I'll have to go to the record books.
Two highly skillful and incredible players, really. Harrow's an absolute machine, and what I've seen of Tommy Carroll, he's up there as well. Just runs all day.
So close to the wing
Well
now.
done. Speaking
Kakuro's
of,
trying to lay a
hasn't got
tackle
it.
on. I think he's been penalised. He has. So that will be a free kick to Harrison.
Darcy Barton just try to sneak off there and get a cheap one, but they're bright boots that Harrow's got. I think they're a new investment. Harrison down long, looking for the targets. Milky, he snaffled it. Out of Wadey.
So now the Hounds link up. This is Shaw. Oh, it hasn't got it.
Oh, umpire.
Play on.
Huey Robinson, hands over. Who we got there on the left? That's Blakey. New bloke for this to the carnival.
Still in play. Davis handballs to Grouch. Grouch has seen something in Kakuro. Here's a contest. Kakuro, great mark. Winding back. He hasn't got much to go forward. He chips it over to Ryan Breck. Ryan Breck goes long with the left and it's been punched there. Almost scooped up by Jose. And a whistle's been blown.
It's been holding the man.
And it's holding a jumper. And I think the free's going to Daniel Havelberg. #20. You know what? He's almost in range from here.
Kicking into a slight win.
Slowly pops it over.
Unmarked.
Well, a little bit untidy there by the Vics, and Ryan Breck's got it probably about 45 out, and he's probably well within range here. Ryan Breck, a former Norwood player in the Sandful. Might not make the distance. Hello, there's a mark, right, and I think it's Jeff Munn. He calling the clunk master. He's marked it on an acute angle. Here we go, runs straight in. Oh, and he's missed it badly. Hit the post. And it's the second one for the carnival that he's rushed a bit. He did one on Monday, and that hit left. I think he needs to tidy that up.
Stevie Owen with the kicking.
1-1-7 to Victoria. No goals, 1.1.
Harrison back line, little chip over the top. Paddy West. Oh, heavy hit there. Quick one on. Huey Robinson. Jimmy Oliver with the kick, scrubs it. Wadey couldn't quite get it.
So that's Gaz Williams, chips it off to Kakuro, links up to Tom Carroll. Tom puts it into the 50, right in front of Dabrowski. Misses it, fumbles, gets his handball away. That's to Parsons again. This flicks over to Munn. Can he make amends? Flicks it over to Havelberg and through for a goal. Great link up by the Hounds there. It's 2-1, 13 to 1 point. Careful, Barry. I got Barry Lewis, the Lewis Alamand medalist honoree with me. We might get him up for some special comments during the coverage. He might tell a couple of stories about when we started in 1987, but just a reminder, we are celebrating our 30th carnival. That's a good tap out by Williams, straight down the throat of Gaz Williams. I think we've got 3 Williams playing with us today. And for another stoppage.
Darcy Barden, Paddy West with a quick kick. Down the direction of Dean Kelly. Good tackle by Milky. And the ball's out now. Just on Dean Kelly, he's been a good servant for the VicPol team over the last few years. Multiple All-Australian, and had a good day on Monday as well, so he was pretty keen to continue that on today. Harrison flicks it in front of him, couldn't quite handle it, and the Hounds get it out outside 50, but looks like Paul Davis couldn't quite take the mark.
So this is Kakura now, down the line, straight to Havelberg, attempts the mark in front, follows up with a tackle, ball spills out. This is Munn now, hands to McKinnon, puts it in front of Hayden Conley there, doesn't quite get onto it.
Steve
Big
Owen.
swap up in the back.
Hands to Rodriguez, back to Owen. Finds out on the wing. Got Bull on his first carnival. Nice kick down, looking for a big target. Nicholson, umpire calls play on though. I don't think Nico knows that. No, the other umpire's given the mark. Down, Harrison's just ran down on his own, runs in and has pushed it to the right. So that's can't even see the scoreboard from here. Is that
So 2-1, 13.
2-1, there we go.
0-2-2
Oh,
to the Vics.
Kelly.
Bright colours of the scoreboard.
Yeah, a bit difficult. Hounds work it out though.
So Hounds link up. This is Conley, nice and soft into the middle to Munn. Munn seeking support from Daniels. It's a bit sloppy and it's almost gone down the throat of the Victorians.
Blake.
Although Parsons putting pressure on.
Out to Trajanovski, gets tackled, and another ball, or another throw in on the outer wing. Seems like there's a bit of a breeze. It was going from left to right as we see it, but it's pushing into the commentary box now, so should no real favour in. Trajanovski with a kick out there, inside 50. Big Peter Street on the left boot. Dribbles down the 4 line and got a throw in from the pocket. Big Streety on Monday had a just plunked himself down the goal square and was taking nearly everything all day. Unfortunately, his kicking boots weren't on. Kicked 4-6 and 1 out of bounds. But Streety, very impressive football resume. Back in his hometown, actually. Tap down. That looks like Huey Robinson. It is Huey Robinson. Beautiful goal by that man. Very, very solid player, and the Vics will be quite pleased to get that one on the board. Just seems that South Australian guys are just getting away a little bit, sort of running hard and opening up the game a bit and freeing up a few players through the middle of the ground. The Vics will need to really tighten up there.
Yeah, it's early days, so 2-1-13 to 1-2-8. There's been a whistle. Hang on a minute.
To the Vics. Chris Fiddler in the middle, takes a free kick, kicks it down long into the inside 50. Nicholson, and he's plugged it.
So I'm not sure what the indiscretion was. I think someone crossed the line.
Maybe. Too many in this. Yeah, too many. Yeah. So Nicholson, about 35 metres out, directly in front. He was telling me before the game that the glove's not a fashion statement, but he broke his thumb earlier this year, so reluctantly wearing the glove, but it's a bit of a must.
Well, find out whether it's going to work for him. Nice ball drop.
That's a beautiful kick. Straight over the top, and the Vics are in front. There we go, blink of the eye. 2 quick goals in 2 minutes, assisted by the free kick in the middle of the ground. And Nicholson makes no mistake of that. I don't think it's going to be, I think the margin will be close throughout the day. I don't think either side will get away.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be closer than Monday's game. That was a bit of a heart stopper with SA and WA.
Absolutely.
WA going down by 2 points. Absolute thriller.
Quite easily the best game that I've seen during the carnivals. I've been 6 times and by far the best. It was a ripping game.
So Hounds push forward. Mum was in front off the leg of McKinnon, but the VICs have got it back.
Well, outnumbered here, but Darcy Barting gets a favourable bounce. Nicholson, hand pass. Oh, umpire's called deliberate.
Well,
that's all right.
Might be a trend for today. We'll have to watch out how the deliberate's paid.
Oh, big contest. Darcy Barting. Steve Owen with the clearing kick. In the back of the flight. Dean Kelly hits it out. What the umpire going to do? He'll throw it in this time. So big collision there by, not too sure who Darcy collided with, but the skipper's up, looking a bit groggy, but tough hard player, so he'll be right. Aaron Henneman to take the ruck contest. Matty Wade in the bottom of the pack there. As you say, that Barton's coming off the ground now just to have a bit of a breather.
Good solid play. Both of these teams have fantastic skills in terms of stoppages and laying on good tackles, so we're going to see some great footy this afternoon. So here we go, Ryan Brecht's found some room, goes off to Williams, Grouch running down, feeding off, he's seen someone in the forward line. Who's that? Dropped out, Havelberg's got it. Looks at the Grouch again, following up his own kick. Fires that in the forward. Can Dabrowski get it? Not quite, bit of a finger tipper. And it'll be thrown into the Hounds forward advantage.
About 3 minutes to go in this quarter. As expected, good start.
Good tap, Parsons attempting. Again,
So it's good to see that there's been some very young umpires this week, and they've done a great job. So great to see. Rodriguez, quick hands.
So Carroll ends up with the ball, fires that forward. Not sure if that was deliberate or not. It drops in front. It's anyone's ball. I think there's Ryan Brecht that went up for it, and he's driven into the ground for a behind.
So it looks like Huey Robinson to take the kick out.
There's good talk out here. It's probably one of the loudest games players.
Nico.
That's a fair kick.
Nicholson gives over Stevie Owen. Sells a bit. And gets into the ground. Blake without the ball. Tommy Carroll in there. Good pressure.
Dangerous handball.
Dean Kelly gets wrapped up and gets his hands out. So Australia's
well played. Grouch has got the ball. Uses the left foot to go deep into Havelberg. Can he get it? No. It's spilled. Dabrowski's searching for it to the bottom. Kicks it out.
Rodriguez to Harrison. And Fiddler's away here. He uses Blake on his left. Great pressure there by South Australia. Waiting with the hands out to Harrison. Takes a bounce. Over Ilya Friedman, goes long. Nicholson 2-on-1 down there for the VICs. Keeps his feet off the ground. And Nico loves it. So the VICs just snagging one late in this quarter here. Nicholson, a station at Ballarat. Plays local footy up there. He's a kicked 100 goals a few years ago, 22 in a game. So I've heard that story a few times when he kicked 22, so he doesn't mind it.
You get tired of celebrating after. Oh, that's a good lead.
Cullinan good.
Williams comes up with it, sits it on his left boot. That's a bad bounce. Munn taps it in front of him to the advantage of Daniels, still fighting for it. Daniels got some support in Kakura, I think it is. He lollipops one up to the advantage of Dabrowski. Can he make it? No. And it's a behind.
That's silent.
Siren, is it? Umpire's paid, I think. Yes.
Yep.
And it's a close game. So it was a pretty tight quarter in the end, with Victoria in front, 3 goals 2-20 to 2 goals 3-15. And well earned break. It's a ripping day here in Hobart, Tasmania, and I'm not sure if we've seen all the footage, the view that we've got here from North Hobart Oval, right down to the city and down to the bay there. Like I said, it's pretty cold, but pretty good conditions for footy really. It's hardly a breath of wind. The rain's held off, and I don't think there's any excuses here for some good footy.
Yeah. And the surface of the ground's quite, well, it's near perfect. It's firm without being too hard, and there's a bit of moisture underneath the ground, so yeah, it's held up really well so far. But beautiful scenes, really picturesque. And I think if you're looking from the northern end of the goals, I believe I've got my directions right. Looking over the south, beautiful mountain range through there, and
well, yeah, we can't really see it here, but when you're out in the ground, you can see Mount Wellington in the end, and depending on how low the cloud cover is, if it's either in vision or not, it's really quite a poignant landmark here in Hobart, which is really nice.
Iconic ground of Australian rules football, I think. North Hobart, good history.
But you probably can't see it on the vision. We're actually up on a bit of a hill here in North Hobart, and the ground's got a fair slope on it. And you often find some of the teams are favouring the far side of the ground, probably naturally following that slope. So it's offering obviously good drainage.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It's an absolute pitch, and hopefully holds up for the 9 games that we play this week for this championship. So it looks like the Vics are in their groups. Tell us a little bit about some of the players you got down there.
Yeah, so as mentioned, his name a few times today, Nicholson. Stevie's a good strong player across the half forward line. He slots into the forward line with Aaron Henneman and Peter Street, who both have had AFL experiences, probably well and truly into their twilight years now. I think it'd be 37, 38 years of age. We've got young Bull in there who's had a great game on Monday. Just a very honest player. Matty Wade, he's been on a few carnivals now and been recognised for his performances with All Australians. Down back we've got Paul Davis, who's a bit of a swing man, can go forward, but I think we've got enough tools down the forward line today. So it's quite an even spread team. Had a few boys flying today, so I guess it helps when you're only an hour flight away from Tassie, so they had no issues coming in. So how about the South Australian boys? They're looking a few familiar faces around there again.
Yeah, so we've probably got a similar team to what we had in the last year or 2 years. We hosted last year, of course, in 2017. The majority of that team's flown over with us. But yeah, like the likes of Tom Carroll, as I said, he's still playing some good footy. He's played for Adelaide in the Sanford League before. Obviously, Brandon Brayson played for the Eagles over at Sanford level. And a lot of the boys have actually won their championships this year, so I think it was almost like asking the question, who hasn't won a grand final this year in their league today? So it's been a pretty good build-up, if that's anything to read into. That, a lot of them have played right up into September, and therefore we haven't even been able to get them out of training beforehand. So
That's good.
So they're all looking running pairs.
Slight might change. I think we can see on the screen there, just right at the bottom of the screen, on top of the players' bench there is the Tyne and Air Cup. So it's looking nice there as the sun just comes out. Nice little reflection off it, and we'll probably have a bit of a discussion maybe later on about Tyne and Air and you know, the significance of this cup, and it's yeah, I don't know what to say about it. It's just a special event when we can play for this cup, and the recognition of those two boys that were murdered in South Yarra back in '88. It's 30 years in 2 days' time. So yeah, we'll have a further chat about that later on as the second quarter is underway.
So busy in the middle. Kakuro tried to get it out. Toe poked. The advantage of SA, but it's held up.
Robinson, little fumble.
Tackle.
Stevie O asking the question. Block again. Huey Robinson just dances
clever.
his way out, but intercepted by the Hounds.
Kuro. Carroll was in there. This is Venning to Carroll again. Carroll tries to put it to the advantage of Parsons.
Oh, it was a half blow of the whistle.
So Munns ended up with it at the 50-metre line. Bit of an ugly kick, goes to the pocket, not to anyone's advantage really, and it dribbles over to the boundary line.
Just a quick one, Stephen Owen, remarkable recovery, had major surgery on his shoulder a few years ago. Cut down in his prime, but he's come back pretty strong this year. Lady tackled.
So the umpire's letting a little bit go here, which is good. It allows the boys to play. It is a bit of a congested stoppage area though. So we've got one out. Who's out there in the goal square?
Can't quite see there.
We've got a full back. This is Williams trying to get through. Handball's over, but it's Kakuro's been caught, and I think that's definitely holding the ball.
It's a good tackle. Rodriguez, looks like.
So it looks like the Vics were having a bit of a full back, full stop.
Yeah, a bit of a goalkeeper situation.
Yeah.
So the man known as the red-headed Mexican, Rodriguez, is down long for Barcy. Trent McClure in there for the Vics. You're right, plenty of yap out there.
Yeah, so you often don't hear too much noise, but both teams today are really talking it up. You can hear it through the earphones.
Whitey sees it over the line. I must apologise, our ruckman, Colin, I think? Colin, something like that. I'll have to do some research at half time, but he was super on Monday. Really, really good. Strong body, big booming kick. Anything within 50, he'll back himself. So.
And that's his 21.
Yeah, Big Nick. We'll just call him Nick. Good hands there.
Oh. Gaz Williams tries to sit into the forward line, almost a mark, and I think he might have paid that.
Stevie O, was it? Or was that Trent McClure? Gives a hand pass, standing, didn't want the kick, to Stephen Owen. That is a mongrel. Huey Robinson in hard there. And great work by Robinson there. Against the odds, calls the ball up. Great hit. 4 for the Vics. Chadge, Harrison. Fiddler, no, Robinson again.
Oh, ripped out. that was Grouch ripping that ball out, but he was easily caught up. So again, almost a centre ball up. So Williams with the tap. Reinbeck trying to push through again. Held up by a couple of tacklers.
Yeah, there's the big boot there. Just kicks down long. Dean Kelly.
Oh, good
ball played on. Must have been off the boot. Ilya Freeman couldn't quite handle it.
This is Jose.
Robinson.
Oh, that's a great
intercept. What's he going to do? Sort of stabs it and slots it.
And they've paid for it.
Huey Robinson. Just very, very classy player. Comes from the well-known Assumption College in Kilmore there. So the football factory out of there. Some quality AFL footballers, and did his knee a few years ago. So he's come back from an ACL, and he's only still quite young. So unfortunately for you boys, you'll be seeing Huey
for a few
more years. Yeah, sorry. He's a good player.
All right, play back again. We're 5 minutes into this quarter, so still plenty left in this quarter.
Friedman with the volleyball.
This is Conley. Finds Williams, Todd Williams. Reinbeck doesn't really get a favourable bounce. He's probably just going to see it over the boundary line.
A few changes for the VICs. Hard in there. Where's that Presti? The ball up on the wing. Nico with a good tap. Falls to Paddy West. Harrison dances and bit off Morgan shoes.
Oh, and he's been punished for it. Tried the fend off, but that was a really good tackle there by Kakuro. So he's got some options up at the forward 50 line. He's put that at the advantage of Havelberg, who gets pushed off it. That's Parsons to try and punch it in an advantage.
Chris Fiddler, dangerous kick.
Oh, and that's a great mark there. But I think that might be Sam Venning. Really good mark. He's almost gone back to the centre square to kick this. He might think himself a chance.
Ben Brown-esque. And 50.
He's searching though.
That's a 50-metre penalty.
Stand by. Not sure what that was for.
Darcy Barter on the mark.
Looked like it might have been. I don't think the umpires are putting up with any yap today, so he's been harshly punished there for that.
Well,
and that takes Venning almost to 25 out.
Which is strange because Darcy was standing about 40 metres out from goal, and now he's 15 out from goal. So.
Oh, and he's hit the post, Venning.
Another woodwork.
He's given that a good old shake. So that takes SA to 2 goals 4-16 to Vic 4 goals 2-26. We're 7.5 minutes gone in the second quarter.
Aaron Henneman. Former Essendon star. And that's a good mark by Presti. Around, kicks down the line. Marcy hits the ground.
Well, that's Jose who's let that handball go. Conley has some pressure on him and he's left
Nicholson,
it off.
Trajanovski on the right. Peter Street.
Almost.
Good spoil there.
So the Hounds mop up now in the back line. That's Venning attempting a handball, but it's been intercepted. Oh, and that's a great tackle by Jose.
Boot, Nicholson under pressure. That's not going out. He says, give it to me. Ball up. Straighty with the tap. Oh, great tackle there. Umpire gives on the ball. And 50. Well, you're spot on there. Umpires aren't taking any abuse. And I wonder if this umpire is good with his distances, and looks like he is. He's going to take him straight to the line. Knowing Milky, he'll try and claim this goal. And he has. So Dean Kelly waltzes in. Little one over the top. Another one for the VICs.
Well, it was a gift to the VICs, but that's what happens. I think Carroll attempted to give the handball off. He probably was convinced himself that he got it off, but was penalised twice in that event. So that takes the VICs 5 goals 2-32 to 2 goals 4-16.
Biggest margin for the game.
We're about halfway through the second quarter.
A few directions going in the middle there. Harrison wrapped up. So he's not being given any space today, Harrison. He's well, it's a fortunate tap. Bully couldn't quite get it. Trajanowski in there. Darcy Barden. How was RG this morning?
Yeah, I think the boys are pretty upbeat and a little bit nervous. We're always nervous when we play the VICs.
Yep.
We always know it's a really good contest, and like you said, we're very mindful of how you guys feel about the Tyne Cup. So you always come with a bit more passion, I think, when you play the Hounds.
Absolutely, yeah. Ball with a hand pass out on the wing. Stevie Owen chases it out of bounds. We fortunately have a phone call from Damien Ayre's father, Frank, before each game. It's always an emotional occasion hearing Frank and speak about his son and how proud he is of him and what he represents now. So, as I said just before, 2 days' time, 30 years, and poor old Frank and his wife Carmel, and also the family of Steve Tyne, and they're still suffering.
So it was Nicholson that's gone long down towards the wing. It's gone over everyone. Henneman's trying to recover it, and it's gone over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Oh, headache with the Airy. Presty. Hugh Robinson just gets shoved down the way.
Oh,
good
almost a clash of heads there.
Gee, that's tough.
That's good, tough footy. That's Ryan Brack, number 14. Yeah, giving a head a bit of a rub. Making sure there's no claret there. Close to the boundary. Tackle attempt, and has he gone over it? Yes. For another throw in. But like you said, it's just a way that our association remembers some of those brave officers that have lost their lives, and to ensure that we support those families as well through the playing of these cups. It's, at the end we wouldn't want to play for these cups. I mean, that's the harsh reality of it. We prefer not to have them, but because these incidents have happened, it's our way to find it.
That's it. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, great tackle by Williams.
Great tackle.
He's offered the play on, and it's gone deep in the forward. It's dropped down to the feet of Dabrowski, fed it off to Parsons, who's willed it through, I think. And it's a goal. It is. So Aaron Parsons ending up with there. It sort of fell just at the feet of Dabrowski, who was pretty clever enough to get down there and feed it off. So that's SA 3 goals 4-22 to 5 goals 2-32. 10 minutes, 10 points up, and we've got about 6.5 minutes to play for this quarter.
So just momentum in South Australia's favour at the moment. Good 4 or 5 minute patch there. Plenty of pressure around the ball when the VICs had it. Almost times it.
Oh, again, great pressure, but Grouch has ended up with it. A little left to. Hello, it's good. That's Daniels trying to pick it up. I'm just trying to look at the monitor. Kakuro's been picked up, and hello, the umpire's found something.
Free kick. Just
and
held on
give
to
it to the VICs.
A bit longer. Yeah, Stevie Owen with the kick. Spits out to Blake. Down the line. Punches it out towards Darcy. Skipper Barton. Completely off topic, we were just having a quick discussion about the amount of ink that a few of these boys are carrying. There's plenty of sleeves and whatnot these days. Not many clean skins. Great stuff by Huey Robinson again. Spits out to Matty Wade. Usually good finish with the ball. Streety, holding the man.
Right. Well, it was a little bit sloppy from Rhett Davis there. I think he panicked a bit.
Big Streety, the 6'11.5", I think he is. As I was saying earlier, he wasn't kicking too straight the other day. At one point he had 1 goal 6, so be pretty keen to slot this one, Streety. Runs in, pops over the top.
He's done that before. I think I lost the footy as well. I might get some kicks down the back end there. So that brings the VICs to 6 goals 2-38 to SA 3 goals 4-22. The VICs are holding a really strong lead here, I think, into the half-time break. We've only got about 4 minutes left. Of course, our games are played 20 minutes, no time on. So the quarters go pretty quick here.
Fiddler in the ruck for VICs.
So Reinbrack trying to break free. He's found Williams at the end. It goes to Kakuro. Balks. Kakuro trying to go to Havelberg. And Havelberg snatched it out of the sky. Beautiful mark. And he's probably going to kick it from about 45, I think. Can do it though. He's well within range. Dan Havelberg has played in Centrals in the Sanford League in South Australia. Plenty of people would recognise his name and face. Well, it doesn't. Looks a bit ugly off the boot, but I tell you what, he's sailed it through, and he's pretty happy about that as well. So that brings the SA 4-4-28. So VIC 6-38, back to a 10-point margin. I think Havelberg's on 3 goals already for the half.
Probably the one area where the VICs will be exploited. Not too many talls down back, and the Hounds are possessing a few big tall towers down there. Causing a bit of trouble.
Oh, great tackle by Kakuro.
So pressure
good
again.
ball, Venning off the right. Stabs it over the forward half. I think Munn's going to see that over the line, and he does.
Gee, what a contest that would have been 10 years ago between Henneman and Munn.
That's right. But I mean, like you said, you know, guys like Peter Street and Aaron Henneman who've played at the AFL level, you sort of don't lose that, you know, skill set, and they're very, very clever with their skills. And that's a great, solid mark from Daniels. He's looking for a lead. Pops that up to Havelberg again. Couldn't mark. I don't know who came over the top then. Oh, and a great smother by Parsons, I think.
Stevie Owen trying to get the kick away.
But yeah, like I was saying, some of these guys, even though they're on in years, and it's probably been a while since they've played at the highest level, you can certainly tell they've just got that skill set deep within them, and seem to use that older body to their advantage by using their skills.
Holding the ball. That was Paul Davis. Yeah. Paul Davis trying to It was Paul Davis trying to sneak through that pack there, but got wrapped up by the Hounds player.
So this is Dan Havelberg lining up again. Yep. So I mean the angle's only acute and certainly well within range. So we kicked the last one, which didn't look that pretty off the foot. This one looks a little bit better. I tell you what, the umpire hasn't moved, and that's a great late one by the Hounds. That's 4 goals now for Havelberg. Yeah, it gives a big thumbs up to Grouch, I think it was, who fed him the footy. So that's 6 goals, 2-38 to the VICs, 5 goals, 4-34 to SA, and it brings it back to a 4-point margin, and Siren's about to go.
Over the top, ball chases it. And there's a siren. So good second half of that quarter there by the Hounds. They mentioned they had the momentum at that point, and they really kicked on with it. So got out to 16 points and back to 4. So as predicted, close game.
Well, that sets it up great, doesn't it, for another third quarter. I mean, at the end of the day, the way our draw's been set up is pretty much whoever wins this game is in prime position to take out the championship. So you'd almost call this a bit of a grand final.
Absolutely.
Game here. But it looks like they're all up and about. The sun isn't shining, but it's certainly threatening to come through. So conditions should be good for the second half. But like you said before, they're playing for the Tynan Air Cup, and that cup's been running now for some time. But of course, those who are aware of the incident in Walsh Street, South Yarra, those 2 young constables were ambushed at that time, and it was during a National Police football carnival, and that's why it's the cup has been struck up, and it is a really good looking cup as well, I must say. Originally sponsored by Carlton United Breweries, and we all take pride in making sure that when we do win, it is in honour of those 2 boys. And yeah, I understood you guys often call Frank Air and have a chat with him before the game. How does that? Yeah. How does that? Does that rev the boys up? What's the feedback on doing that?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been fortunate enough to speak to Frank for many years now, and a lot of the guys through the club have had the honour to have that sit down and that one-on-one chat with Frank. And I mean, for a man who's gone through a lot, and he's 83 years of age now, and he's still sharp as a tack, and he still drives very, very hard for that justice for his sons. And while the hope, realistically, probably of anyone being convicted of their murders is probably gradually fading, which is tough to say. Frank's still very optimistic that one day someone will be convicted. So a great man, very passionate, very proud of his son, and he's just loves it. Loves the fact that we play for the cup, and he knows, he well and truly knows how important this game is for us and the carnival and what it represents. So a few years ago when Victoria hosted, and we had that great day down at Walsh Street, and the South Australian boys and the Victorian boys, we gathered and we listened to 2 investigators who were in the Tynan Air Task Force, Jim O'Brien and John Noonan. It was very honest, quite emotional.
That day.
Yeah, such a powerful day, and just to be standing on that street, you hear about it, you read about it, you play for the cup, and to actually be there, it's quite surreal. And those 2 gentlemen who are still scarred, very much scarred from that incident, and they did absolutely everything. According to Frank Eyre, they did absolutely everything they could to try and make those 4 people accountable for what they did.
Yeah, and I do remember that day, and it was a great opportunity to get both of those teams in and just galvanise the team. It was almost like, it was one team that went down there and really experienced that location and heard the stories, and it really made you feel honoured as a copper and also honoured as a police footballer during that championship. So we were very grateful that the VICs organised that for us. What we might do is leave you with some beautiful pictures of North Hobart and Hobart down there in the bay, and have a bit of a break and come back with you in about 10 minutes for the start of the third quarter.
think it's good too. That's good. You know, they're really going hard footy. So, you're back to. What are you talking? You on?
Okay, so the second half almost underway.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Here we go.
Underway.
Straight back into it.
Hard there. There's that Henneman crashing in. Adrian Priest. Presley there. Umpire says give it to me.
Oh, that was a good hit out.
Huey Robinson with a quick kick forward for the Vics. Into space. Shawnee Harrison chases. Wraps him up. Great tackle by Shawnee Harrison. Umpire rewards him with a free kick. Shawnee Harrison playing for the Victoria Rugby Union team last week or the week before. So
I heard he dominated there as well.
Lightning, absolutely lightning. And just a oh, I love these. Connellan.
Finally got
is
it
the
right.
right. Yeah, Big Nick is Connellan. So I back him here. He's got a big boot. As I said, anything within 50. Hasn't got onto it, but Streety's down there and he's plugged it. Big Streety.
It's a shame we don't have some instant replays because he did get off the ground there. That was a very, very good mark. Hung there for a little bit. It's probably only about 6 inches off the ground, but
he throws
when
the
you're
hands.
6'11".
Oh, that's it. Let's see if he can continue with his good kicking. It's a good start for the Vics. And he's got under it, popped it up. That's the first for the Vics for the second half.
Well, that's a good early score by them, so they go out to, what is it, 7-2 now.
Just got a few messages at half time from a few people that have been listening. So I know there's a few back in Victoria. I don't think those guys on duty will be doing much work, but they have a close attention on the game. And
a few shout outs. Thank you to Taz from New South Wales for letting us know that the audio was a bit ugly before. Oh, Tom Carroll,
TC
tough.
And that'll be the you just look at players like Tommy and Harrow and Matty Wade for us. They'll lift this quarter.
So Ryan Bratt gets to it first. Oh, almost
that's
a
too
fair.
high.
That's got to be high tackle. Oh, he's paid dropping the ball. Goodness me.
Well, the angle that we had,
It's probably a bit harsh by.
Wadey almost decapitated him. Kicking board.
It's unfortunate by Grouch, but
Fiddler takes the mark. Pushes back. Just pumps up long. Streety being held back there. And
that's marked by Matt Williams. So, Hounds to reset. Goes wide. This is to Grouch, who should be rewarded for his efforts before. But that goes over the line for a boundary throw-in. Yeah, a couple of quick mentions as well. Of course, the Hounds would like to thank their sponsors, Maxi Proprietary Limited, who are our main sponsor, for supporting us.
they've been on board for a few years now, haven't they?
They've been brilliant, Maxi, and they also support other teams as well.
Yep.
Stand by it. The umps called it back.
And likewise with Fleet Care for the Vic boys. Jumped on board a few years ago and have been solid since. So it's great to see that companies are showing that support, and they do appreciate the service that the police services do right across Australia. So it's good to see.
Oh.
Punch.
Henneman with the punch. Has it stayed in? I think it stayed in, and Harrison's wrapped it up. Broken clear from the tackle, takes a bounce, looks inward.
Hands in board. Matty Wade.
Still gets his kick off. Just heading to Jose. Good pick up.
Great pick up. Left boot. Fiddler.
Walks, and that goes in there. Good strong
there.
mark by Kakuro there. Hello, someone's been hurt on the ground there. I think that might be Williams. Reinbrack ends up with the ball though in the middle. He's looking for someone short. Ugly kick though.
Henneman.
Oh,
tries to take him on. Huey Robinson just fumbled there. Paul Davis for the VICs.
And that's Daniels on the floor with the footy. So a ball up, top of the Hounds forward 50. Good tap by Munn. Oh, that was a great pickup. Oh, good tackle by Parsons. And umpire says, I'll throw it up.
Tap down, Huey Robinson. Look at there, Trent
Oh, that's a great handball by McKinnon. I don't know who hooked up there. Munn's trying to get rid of it. I think that's Jose. Been trapped with it in front, but it's now into Hounds forward 50, and here's a good chance for them to redeem themselves.
Plenty of numbers around the ball. One drops back in the goal square there. Paddy West tries to barge through.
Dabrowski trying to just bulldoze his way through. The ball's still alive. Oh, and the umpire's found a holding.
Yeah, Ryan Blake just held on to him for a little bit too long there.
And Havelberg's got the footy in his hands again. So we've seen what he's done already with his 4 goals. I'll go to the major stats man, Barry Lewis here. 4 goals, Barry. So this is for his 5th. He's straight in front. We know he can make the distance. It's just a matter of whether there's any swirly winds out there.
He's been accurate. 4 straight, I believe. Yep.
Kicks from about 40 out. Oh, and he's just slewed it off to the left. So like I said, there's a little bit of wind out there. It's not really to anyone's advantage, but it does make kicking the goal a little bit dicey sometimes.
So Rodriguez short to Davis. Looks a little bit longer down the ground.
So Williams tries a cheeky one, and he makes it off to Gaz Williams, who looks to have kicked that one out of bounds.
Down the full. Going over the top to Paddy West. Westy switches it back towards the goal square to Paul Davis, who, speaking about grand finals, had success with Thompson Football Club in the Geelong District Football League this year. Had a good season.
Oh, good mark in front. That's Prime. Prime plays on quickly. Tries to get down to Kakuro advantage, but that might have been a mark.
Should be a mark to Davis. He asked the question.
And I think the central umpire's overruled, and he says, yes, that's a mark. Good decision by the umpires there.
So Davis with the kick down the line. Hands in front though, got the numbers.
That's fending over to Reinback. Reinback kicks it long with his left. Really to no one.
Oh,
shocking bounce. Daniels tries to mop up.
Fiddler at the back. Rodriguez after Robinson. Sort of runs into Rodriguez there. Out to McClure. Two-handed drop of the ball.
Oh, and over the top by Hayden Conley. That was a good, clever punch. So 8 minutes already gone. That's been pretty quick, really, for this quarter. Ball up. They're in the forward wing for the Hounds.
Conlon wins it down with TC.
Carroll dropped it. Goes Williams. This is Jamie Grouch. Gets onto his left, his preferred left. Over the top was Ryan Brack, but he couldn't make it. And now the Vics have got the advantage down the wing.
Couldn't quite find Darcy Barden. quick one about Darcy. I'm not sure if you saw on social media, but plays for Lower Plenty, and they played their grand final a few weeks ago. Hadn't kicked a goal. The team had not kicked a goal up until the last quarter, and then snatched victory literally in the last second of the game. Hadn't led all day and snatched it. So to Darcy and his teammates at Lower Plenty, who just continue on with them. Lost one of their teammates a few years ago in a coward punch incident, young Pat Cronin. So every time Darcy plays, it's I'm sure that he's got him in his thoughts.
So the Hounds have got it now, and they're back half. This is Jose, or Jose. Goes to the centre towards Munn. Munn couldn't make anything of it. Reinbrack again, but in the claws of Henneman, is it?
Yep.
So tapped down by Williams. Reinbrack in it again. Williams picked it up, trying to get it loose, and he's trapped by two tacklers, but the umpire fairly says, I'll throw it up again. Good tap by Williams. Gets it back from Carroll, although a bit of a rush kick.
There's Davis. A few options on. Rodriguez calls for it, but ignored. Goes down the line, looking for Barden's 3-on-1 there, and it's probably a good result for the Vics. You can hear Matt Kershaw just barking some orders from the boundary. Fair to say a legend of the carnival, Matt Kershaw.
Maybe he's in his own lunchbox, but certainly on his way to become an APFA legend. He's been around. Oh, that's a great tackle.
That's solid by Barden there.
On Tom Carroll, so it's kept Tom honest. Ball up now in the forward 54.
Good tap.
Victoria. Ping-ponging around. Reinbrack followed up his own handball. Sure, I think's on the bottom. And he's been lucky because he dived on the footy.
He's coming off here for South Australia.
And Prime's looking a little bit sore. So ball up now in the forward 54 Victoria. Hit it out. I didn't quite see what it was.
Spits out of the bloke, just came.
Oh, big hard clash. So this is Parsons.
Oh, Henneman! Oh, Henneman.
Henneman's milked it to the boundary line. Oh, that was a huge hit. Probably the biggest guy against the littlest guy on the field.
That's great to see.
And Parso, number one there for South Australia, just
probably
shaking it off.
Good 30 kilos, 40 kilos difference, and credits Parsons, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, great work by him. Conlon Trajanovski.
So Conley to Grouch, he's been trapped.
Great tackle there by Prest.
Good gang tackle there by Victoria, and a ball up again. This umpire's doing a great job identifying the efforts of both teams.
Fair contest.
So it goes out to the boot of Kakuro. That's all he could probably do under the situation. Oh, it's been misaired. Parsons taps it forward. Again, tries to keep it forward with his hands. But the Vic's got it back.
Slams on the boot.
So this is Conlon.
Big Nick. Let's rip. Nicholson.
Oh, over
just
both of their heads. This has gone to Venning. Under
Yeah.
pressure.
Fridman just...
Again, finds McKinnon, who finds Shaw, needs to get it off early.
Pressed. Under Barden. Quick kick, Nicholson.
Good
Huey
pressure.
Robinson. Oh, he's bent around. Oh, couldn't quite. Huey Robinson again.
So a quick play on by Davis. That misjudged there by Jose, but he cleans up. Doesn't quite get his kick right. That's gone to Williams. Puts it into Havelberg, who's wrestling.
It's good clearance. Bounces, trudging off.
It's anyone's ball. Ryan Breck over the top, still fighting for it, and it's a stacks on. Another ball up.
Contest. Spits out, Vic with the numbers.
So Kakuro breaks the tackle, looks inside 50, bobs it up towards Dabrowski, can't get it.
Rodriguez.
And that's a very strong mark.
Great body. And left spits out. Is that Wadey? No, it's Dean Milky Kelly. It's down 1-on-1.
And a good strong mark in front by Munn there. Hounds are putting a bit of forward pressure on the Vics, and here it comes again. Havelberg almost got pushed out then, and it dribbles over for a behind. So scores late in the third quarter, 7 goals 3:45 to 5 goals 6:36. Victoria in front.
Davis with a
About
kick out.
5 minutes to go.
Ask a lot for
So
Fiddler.
this lobs into goes Williams, kicks it onto the right, but oh no, it might have gone through. I tell you what, umpire looks positive, and it's a goal for the SA Hounds.
Old 7-point play.
I think that was Gareth Williams kicking that on the boot, and that was a really good handball. By Havelberg again getting involved in the scoring contest. So it's now Vic 7 goals 3:45 to 6 goals 6:42. It's becoming a really close game leading into the third quarter. We've only got about 5 minutes left now.
South Australia have just managed to outscore the Vics late in the quarters as well. So they've continued to do that as the ball spurts.
Oh, Williams I think's caught, and he is.
Harrison.
Probably deservedly so.
One step kick out to Friedman on the wing. Had to wait for
Oh,
it.
good pressure by Conley.
On the
And
ball.
it's been awarded as well, holding the ball. That's good umpiring then.
I think both players are standing the mark there.
Little bit of a confusion. So he chips it over to Kakuro. I'm a bit confused as to what the decision was then. Oh, and almost a great fly by Havelberg. Didn't miss it. Great pick up there. Oh, good.
Great smother.
That was Jamie Grouch.
Fiddler with the hands. Blocked. Out to Blake.
Good frantic play. Here we go. The Vics
Vic's
will be on
away.
here.
Friedman just didn't have enough on the kick.
And the umpire calls, I'll have it. Good contest, and I'll ball it up. Sam Venning handing the ball over there. So only a few minutes to go now in this third quarter. Oh, good pick up. Probably a missed kick by the Vics there. This is McKinnon on the fly, ping-ponging around. Oh, Grouch looks like he was taken high.
So spits out. Who's that? Barden Street.
And Streets mopped up with a very advantageous kick into the forward line.
Just trying to see who kicked that. I'm not too sure. I think it may have been Darcy Barden. So straight with 2, I think, for this afternoon. Straight kicks.
It looks neat.
Looks all right. Looks good.
And the umpire says, all clear, a goal for the Vics.
It's good to see Strady back in Vic colours. He's had a couple of years off Carnival, but this is his hometown, so it's a good chance for him to get down here and see his family. He played a charity match, I believe, on Friday. So he's a crowd favourite. They all love him down here, and he loves his footy. So, as I said, good to see. Be led by Connellan.
So ball ping-ponging around. This is
ball.
Kakuro trying to get rid of it.
Just
Solid
going
tackle, and he's called a holding the ball. Very unlucky there. I'm sure he was making an attempt.
gang tackle there. Kick down long, Kelly.
This is Jose. Oh, Grouch with the tackle to take it over the line. So this is probably the last attempt anyone could make another dent on the score. Probably about a minute to go. Ball thrown in. Williams almost got it. Cleaned up himself. That went to Gareth Williams. Picked up by Carroll. Carroll heard the call from Jose, but they've coughed it up.
Robinson just couldn't quite.
And that's a solid mark by Shaw. Surely that's a mark by Shaw.
That's what happened there. Must have been. Was it a touch off the boot or? Not too sure, but.
Umpire deciding it wasn't fair, and he's thrown it up.
Straight with a tap. Down to Wade. Harrison on his left. Hooks it inboard. Spits at the back. Paul Davis. What's the umpire called?
Oh, and the umpire's called a high tackle.
High tackle. Looks like Davis.
Ryan Breck.
Right on the siren. So Davis just looking a bit groggy, but he's going to take the kick.
I think that was awarded against Ryan Breck, coming in heavy on the side there. Limberopoulos had the tackle first. But you would expect this one to go through, and it has.
It's been 15 points. The Vics get around. But I believe the Hounds were down by 15 on Monday, so...
At the three-quarter time break, you're right, and
Yeah.
they did come back, so it's not over till it's over.
No, not at all.
Still got a quarter of footy to go. We'll give you a score check in a minute as the teams rally for the three-quarter time break. The Vics 9 goals, 3-57 to SA 6 goals, 6-42 at the three-quarter time break as the teams rally. And straight after this game, the Australian Police Football Association are going to put on what we call a Legends game. I'm not sure if that's being telecast, but they're some of the old boys that used to play in years gone by, including a few family and some ring-ins, and it's a match to really celebrate the association and also to raise a bit of money for Police Legacy. Of course, raising money for Police Legacy down here in Tasmania, who have only really established themselves this year as an entity, so it'd be great to support them in their home championship. So you probably don't recognise any faces running around there, but certainly those people putting the Guernseys on for Tasmania and the All-Stars have all made a great contribution to our association over the past decade at least. And of course, in our 30th Carnival celebrations, we're really pleased that we can put on a match like this, a charity match.
Just watching the old boys warm up, I think they need to spend a bit more time warming up because it's pretty cold out there and those vulnerable hamstrings are theirs. You don't want to see anyone go down too early, but they love it, don't they? All the older guys, they can just have a run around once a year. They're more than happy to. And
yeah, and you'd think they take it easy, considering they're probably well past it. But no, most of them put their bodies totally on the line. And it looks like the SA Hounds might have an injured player here in Todd Williams. I know you can't see that on the screen, but I'm just seeing some work down on the boundary line that Toddy Williams might have a bit of a wing injured down there. So we're on the vision, we're looking at the Vics in their huddle, and just a shout out to our trainers here. We've got Lou and Dave over in the SA Hounds, and of course Joy Jelly from the Vics, who was announced as an APFA Life Member Legend last year in the 2017 Championship, and she's been a great support for the Vic boys for many, many years.
Wonderful lady, Joy. She's she just a part of it. She gets amongst it. We're having our I think we had our last drink at about 2:30 the other night, and she was still there. So I'm not sure. She's just like our mother. She's our carnival mother. So she's 74 years old. Shouldn't probably.
You're brave to be announcing
probably
that.
Shouldn't say that, but she's proud to say it. She does great work. She helps out with the Uganda soccer team as well, and as I said, just a wonderful woman, and a passionate person. Matt Whitty just taking his time with his last messages. Then Matt Kershaw's in there having a few words. But I know the Vics are very keen. We lost the cup last year, and they'll be very keen to have it back. So looking forward to the first 5-10 minutes of this quarter. It'll be hot.
Well, this will be it. It's now or never for the Hounds, I think. So 9-3, 57 plays 6-6, 42. We've got 20 minutes of footy left, so hopefully it'll be frantic footy, and we'll see a good contest.
Just good starting mid for the Vics. Got the 3 big guns there.
So the sun seems to have gone out. The ball goes up in the middle. Good fly there by Williams, but he taps it to the advantage of the Vics.
West on the boot. Nicholson comes out for it. Bounce over the top. Great tackle there by, who was that? Huey Robinson. Just ball up on the 50 arc there. Conlon in with it. Hit down. Connellan with a kick forward. Strody throws out a tentacle but couldn't quite get there. Deep in the pocket for the Vics.
That's a good throw in.
Strody at the back. Quick snap by Prest.
It's Morley trying to punch it out.
Straight with the tap again. Paddy West runs onto it, but just shins it over the line.
So Hounds putting themselves under a bit of pressure there. Goes back to Jose. Jose long into the middle. Meant for Munn. Munn didn't get it. McKinnon tried to mop up, but Henneman's been called high on McKinnon. McKinnon's found Jose in the middle. Grabs it, decides to play on straight away. Reinbrecht on his left. Takes it deep into the forward to Dabrowski. Couldn't quite get it. And hello, there's been a whistle and it's holding. So Dabrowski's been awarded a holding. The jumper about 25 out on a slight angle.
Just found himself in a good position there. Rodriguez couldn't do much from behind, but
Dabrowski, a former Eagle, he should kick this, and the umpire straight up, and it's a goal for the Hounds, which was badly needed, I think, to bring them back into contention. So that was good by Jose to get that in there.
Followed up brilliantly from the kick in, and then drove it inside 50.
So scores now: Victoria 9 goals 4-58 to SA 7 goals 6-48. Good leap by the Rucks.
Conlon extracted there by Bull.
So this is Kakuro trying to get away with it. Goes to Coe. He needs to be quick. This is Williams to Reinbrack, indecisive. On the left, kicks it into Dabrowski again with a contest. Goes off the hand. Havelberg doing nothing, and it's gone off the hoof, I think, of...
Yeah. Is that Davis there? Paul Davis?
And over the line for a throw-in. All right, there's a whistle for holding. And I think that's against Dabrowski this time.
Down to Henneman. Kicks the win, looks for Darcy. Darcy Barden takes a clean set of hands. Little chip. It's no one
Really
in
to
particular.
anyone. Mum mots up. Oh, handballs it straight
Kelly.
to Kelly.
Pressed, gives it off. Connellan down the street, wrestling the square.
And this is Morley trying to mop up and just gets inside the line, I think.
Milky's playing for it, but won't get it.
So the Vic's putting pressure on now in the forward line. Ball goes up. That's a good ball in.
Straighty, little tap down.
Reinbrack gets it on to the left.
Connellan.
Bounces awkwardly, but the umpire's found another holding, and it's a Victoria ball. And Connellan again.
Directing. Gets in that, tries.
And a pretty safe, uncontested mark, really, by Munn. He's searching for something on, but it's very congested. Goes back to Davis. Davis now goes short, not really impressive, to Shaw. Shaw chips it over to Conley. Conley with a little chip over to Parsons. Parsons searching. Goes down the line now to Daniels. Takes a good, safe mark. Daniels normally a good kick. Lines up. Lines are probably not the best of kicks. Bounce awkwardly. This goes to Reinbrack trying to mop it up. Slews around to his left and he's gone for goal and just missed.
Fair effort. We'll move it quick here. The Vics are outnumbered. West takes a mark in the pocket, close to the boundary. South Australia's rolled over though. Goes short, Rodriguez. On his left, switches play. And the Vics got a few out here. Stevie O takes it, moves it forward on to. There's that Bully. Goes in board, finds Prest. Hands it off. Matty Wade. Through the middle of the ground, down long. Straighty in prime spot. And numbers back. Barden on the right.
Oh, it's hit the post. So that brings Vix to 9-5-59 to SA 7 goals 7-49. 7 minutes gone in the final quarter. So the Hounds have it now. Deep in the back line. I think this is Venning searching. Oh, and he slewed that one off the side of the boot, and unfortunately that's gone out in the full. And that's what pressure does for you.
Huey Robinson with a free. Got a few in board short. Ignored. Wadey's still there. And Harrison takes a mark. About 45 out. Umpire calls play on. Has a crack. Drop
and
short.
that's safely marked by Carroll, deep in the back line. He's searching for something on. Goes short to Shaw. Holds it up. He chips it over to Parsons, I think that is. Parsons going to the middle to Daniels. No one really on for SA. They need to get themselves down there. Daniels goes towards the wing to
3-on-1.
Kakuro with a 3-on-1. Almost a mark. Kakuro putting the pressure on.
Harrison will try and burn him off.
Oh, and Harrison might have been caught there, and he has been. And SA play on quickly through Carroll, which has been smothered.
Great Great tackle again by Matty Wade. Good passage of football there.
And that's Parsons on the floor, who tried to really get it off quickly, but that was a very good mark by the Victorians. Matt Williams taps it down, it goes clear. This is Conley trying to push through and gets wrapped up, and unfortunately that's holding the ball each day.
Conley just a bit sore as a result. Runs around on the right, goes long. Oh, it's a great mark. Fiddler, Chris Fiddler. Just worked that one nicely and just taking the mark. Tough angle. Kicking it into the wind as well. Usually a pretty reliable kick though. Right behind it.
Oh, and I think he's overcompensated for the angle too much and slewed it left in for a behind. So VIC's 9 goals 660 to SA 7 goals 749. It's starting to slip away from the Hounds a bit.
Well, it's a mongrel pump, but could pay
so,
off. Wrapped up. Great tackle by Matty Wade.
Oh, and he's been played holding the ball. Wasn't making an attempt. That was Sam Venning there, not really. He's letting himself down a bit.
Wadey's backing himself here. He's got Huey Robinson in his right pocket. He's going to have a crack. Wadey kick from 50. Gets onto it. Oh, there we go. Matty Wade slots it from 50 and the Vics just take it out to 17 now. Well, the Vics were peppering the 50 there, and I think it was almost a matter of time before they were going to register a goal.
Amazing goal, that. Into the wind, 50 metres.
Spot on. What that gentleman just said.
So Vic's putting on some forward pressure and some scoreboard pressure now. 10-6-66 to 7-7-49. We're back in play. Gaz Williams feeds off to Tom Carroll. Carroll at the top of the 50 looks inboard for Havelberg, who attempts the mark. It's been mopped up by Parsons, who runs in and slots it in for the Hounds' 8th goal. Very quick response there by the Hounds. TC, I think that's 3 goals now for Aaron Parsons, who's making a good impact. Only flew in today for the game, staying for the rest of the week, but he's a handy little add-in for the Hounds. So 10-6-66, plays 8-7-55 now. We've got about 8 minutes left in the quarter.
Connellan on the bench, Oliver in the ruck.
So Williams with a huge tap. Goes forward to Parsons again. Carroll trying to get hold of the ball. Umpire says, too congested for mine, I'm going to ball it up.
With a unrecognised ruckman in the ruck for the Vics at the moment, really gives that advantage for the Hounds.
Limberopoulos, quick handball over to Conley. Oh, that was Nicholson who got smothered.
Davis.
Trying to follow up.
Flicks up. Ball on his left. Down looking for Darcy Barden.
Vennings mopped up to Shaw. He's got to get off quickly, but he's coughed it up to a Vic.
Oliver Nicholson. Flicks it up. He's ball on the left again. Huey Robinson.
Oh, he's marked it.
Well.
Hello, he's played on.
Snaps around.
Oh, and that's a bit of a mongrel kick. It might be still in play though. It is. Awkward bounce. And Grouch has got it. And the umpire said that's over the line.
Just in two minds there. He sort of plays streaming through. But he decided to snap at the last minute and Probably a good result for the Vics.
The ball
Straight
thrown in.
smashes forward.
Davis trying to mop up. Kick was smothered. Hello. Umpire's found a whistle somewhere, and he's played the mark, I think. So this is Conley
Oh, runs in the
playing
fiddler.
on, and probably should have
Ball on the
decided
left,
otherwise.
straight. Oh, that's pretty fortunate for the Vics.
So Conley not really making the right decision there. Played on. He's probably in a rush to get it down to the forward line, and it's ended badly in him with a mark with Street lining up for, I think it's his 4th.
Yeah, I believe so. 3 straight so far. Streety has slotted it. 2 hands in the air. He's been good today, and Luke Bull as well, who's racking up the touches this quarter. Been superb.
So Victoria 11 goals 672 to 8 goals 755. Still about 5.5 minutes left in the quarter. It's either do or die now.
Connellan back in the ruck for the Vics. And wins the hit out. Gets wrapped up. Barton wrestles. Kelly after it. Gathers. Flicks out to Harrison, but the umpire says throwing the ball.
So Joe snaps in to Kakuro. Lines back looking for options. Bit understated, decides to go long. Kicks it deep. This is either to Munn or Dabrowski.
Henneman.
Dabrowski drops it. Henneman kicks a quick kick.
Milky Kelly on his own, and Streety couldn't quite get there. But Nicholson
that's
takes a
lovely
nice slips
mark. That was a very good stretching mark by Nicholson, is it?
Yeah, Nicholson. Yep. Great stuff.
So this is for Vic's 12th, and you would suggest that this might put the nail in the coffin.
Do it for him. So definitely taking his time. Comes in now. Drifts around, and he's got it. That's his 3rd for the day.
And the Vics are getting around each other.
As Nicholson comes off.
So 12-6 plays 8-7 now with only about 3.5 minutes to go in the quarter. So ball up in the middle now. Williams gets the tap. Ryan Breck comes free. Grouch tries to get it, pushed off the ball.
Quick on boot by Prest. Down to Street is 2-on-1. Got his hands to it. Tries to drag it back in. A few players over the ball. That's Simon McAfee, who number 10 for the Vics. Straight with the tap out. Pressure by the Vics there. Pressed. Adrian Prest being wrapped up there. Straight with the tap down. Couldn't find Kelly. Almost out. Now it is.
So Harrison finally being pushed over the line then for a throw in. Deep in the Vics forward again. Street and Williams go up.
Great tap. Robinson on the right. Screws it around, but...
And an awkward bounce for Davis and over the boundary line again. So the Vics are holding it in deep into their forward line now, and there's not that much time left. It's been a good battle by both teams today, and some impressive play.
Ball. Robinson again. Swings on the right. Tries to hook it around. Davis finds the mark. Paul Davis in the pocket.
What's his chances from here, Adam?
I'm backing him. He's plays forward for Thompson. As I said, had a good year. But just milking the clock now. Comes in. On the way. Likes it.
Pretty measured, and he's kicked the goal.
And that's it. Well, I don't think the scoreboard really reflects the game. It's been quite a tight battle all day, but the last couple of goals by the Vics have stretched his margin out. So, 30 seconds remaining.
So 13-6-84 now to 8 goals, 7-55. We might see just one last play here now, which will see the Vics.
Wade, Harrison, out to Fiddler, on to Prest, left boot, that's a siren. Fantastic.
Well done to the Vics.
He got up.
They deserved it. They led most of the day, and that's heartbreaking for SA, who had a really tough win on the Monday. And good on the Vics, the Big V, for taking out their second win for the Carnival. That sets them right up now for the championship, and the Hands will have to make amends on Friday against Tassie.
That's it.
So boys now respectfully shaking hands with each other. These teams have had a great rivalry over the years, and they really respect each other and what they play for. And now that the siren's gone, it's into the rooms for some beers and a bit of camaraderie. So brilliant game there, really all day.
Yep.
13-6-84 to 8-7-55, the final score. You got them, Baz?
That's it.
I got 13, is it 13-6?
Yep.
To 8-7.
Beautiful.
That's it.
Scores verified, and yeah, as you can see, the Legends pouring out onto the oval now to set up for the Legends game. And we thank you for tuning in, those who have done it around the country, the family and friends, colleagues of these footballers. It's been a great day of footy, and if you've tuned into your team, thanks very much. Thank you to our sponsors for putting on this coverage through our live stream in YouTube, especially for Mike Glancy, who set this all up. This is what Police Footy's all about, and like I said, we'll leave you now with thank you for listening in. We're going to tune out and make sure you get around the boys when they return home from the championship.
That's it. Thank you.